I'll go ahead and get started. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach Dave Patenaude, questions for coach.
Looking at James in the throwing game, it seems like he's got the deep pass down pretty good. What are you seeing from the intermediate passes? It seems like maybe he tends to maybe rush them a little or put too much juice on them. What does he need to improve with that type of pass game?
I thought Saturday he threw the ball well across the board. You know, he missed the one throw on the out ball in the second half that he had, a good look at. Just threw it with a little bit too much steam on it. We missed, I think it was Malachi we missed on the left sideline for a big first down. Other than that, I thought he was on target. He made good on target throws. He knew where he wanted to go with the ball. He played with a much better sense of himself, and he does throw that deep ball really well. But we moved him around. He threw a lot of balls to the edge of the defense. We protected really well, so he got a good look at a lot of throws. So I thought overall, I think he missed 2 targets the whole game, so I was really happy with how he threw it.
All year, been kind of waiting to see the offense execute the way you would like to see and use weapons like Tyler and that sort of thing. How much of it was James needing to settle down and be comfortable in the pocket? Because the pass pro was better, and it had been better in the pick game. He just didn't necessarily feel that and execute it that way. But how much of that has made it such a difference in terms of him being able to execute the offense and having a clean pocket and having the confidence to stand in there and deliver the ball?
Sure. For any quarterback at any level, if you feel confident standing in there and you get clean looks at throws, you got a much higher opportunity to complete balls. And as opposed to the week before, he got his feet underneath him. He hit a couple early throws. He got some confidence. We made a couple plays. Certainly, throwing the ball over their head for a 55-yard touchdown helps your confidence. So we tried to actually game plan it that way to get him off to an early start. But anytime a quarterback can get a good, clean look at a throw, set his feet and throw it, your completion percentage is going to be much higher. And that certainly starts with the O-line and the running backs. We protected really well. They were a team who had, sacked a lot of people over the course of the year. I think they were, 4th and 5th in the country in sacks. And they tried. They came after us, and we picked it up really well. And on the ones that we might have let somebody leak through, James did a really, really good job of avoiding them, getting out of the pocket, breaking, contain. Made a few throws down the field, threw a nice one to Tobias on a roll-up, on a scramble, where we missed the protection and they came clean and he made the guy miss, stepped up around him and made a nice play. And then other times, the real growth that I saw was he just got out, tried to find somebody, didn't find anybody, threw it away. When you can get that, your protection's a lot better because you have, an athlete back there who can make you right if you do miss something or somebody slides off. So, he had, a good feel of what he wanted to do, and those guys, protected, and we caught the ball.
In my head, I kept going back to that very last drive of Saturday, and to me, just from myself looking at it, it just felt like it clicked, and it felt like that drive particularly was something that maybe y'all looked at and was like, this is what we want to look like, this is the foundation of what we were wanting to do. I wanted to know your thoughts on that specific drive and the execution of it.
Were you in our meeting Sunday afternoon?
No, I could have been. I could have backed me up.
You would have a good insight there. So every Sunday we go through and we watch the game in order, and we kind of talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And to finish the meeting, we went through that whole drive. We said, okay, this was a 12-play drive. We ate it 5 minutes. We threw it, we ran it, we had a good mix, we made some plays, we missed some plays. But we showed some perseverance. We took a shot down the field, we missed, we went back on second down. We threw the ball to the tight end. Tyler had a nice 6-yard gain. We got to a 3rd and makeable. We made the first down, we made a nice catch. And then we called one and we missed a wide open throw. James got a little bit of pressure and ran it. Missed an open throw, got back on track, ran it, got it down in there, and then punched it in. So, that was a good, good way to finish because we did a lot of things well, but we also were able to make up for our mistakes by just executing. And it's been, that's been something that's been missing. And when you really look at it, our execution in the pass game was much cleaner. And when you have to defend all of the things that we do, especially with the ability to drop back pass and throw it to really good athletes on the edge, and run the ball, and the quarterback runs it, and you throw a couple screens, and you throw a couple sprint outs in there, it just becomes much more difficult to defend, and it makes it, much harder for them to gang up on the run. And so then you see, a couple of those, balls spit, and I think we were in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends in a game. We had 2 runs over 20 yards. So that was something that they had never seen us run before. So, just being able to mix those things in and control the game with your controlled passing game, was a really good indication of where we can go.
Has the improved pass protection allowed you to get Tyler more involved in the offense?
I don't know if it has. I think, sometimes, a lot of the catches that he's making are quick game catches and that type of thing. The couple that we threw over the last couple of weeks have been design throws based on what the coverage was, which was really wired for him to be able to get open. I think that might have even been Dylan Faney on the catch, on the one big catch. But, I just went to James and said, listen, dude, that guy's a big target, right? He's easy to find. He's got great hands, and if you need to find somebody, that's a good check down guy for you. Get him the ball, and he's going to make a play for you. And it's just a comfort level of, the combination of calling the play and the execution of it, protecting, throwing, catching, and where we are in the game. And, if you target him a little, I targeted him a few times there in those critical situations and paid off for us.
Virginia Tech has one of the more aggressive inside linebackers in all the ACC, and Rashard Ashby. I think he's got more solo tackles than all but 4 of all of Virginia Tech's defense has total tackles. Talk about the preparation necessary to game plan for him, especially having faced some pretty aggressive defensive fronts the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, these guys, as we talk about every week, everybody's different. We wipe the slate clean. We did that yesterday. We got a really good look at them on Sunday and yesterday. The biggest difference with these guys is they are, you're going to see 11 guys within 10 yards of the ball. They're going to crowd the ball, and it allows the linebackers to be run through guys and be uber aggressive because the safeties are standing right behind it. The cool thing for me is, the defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech is a legendary guy, and you always want to test yourself against the best people in the profession. I think that's a really cool piece of being in this league, because you're facing great defenses every week, and every week's a different challenge, especially with a young group like we have. I remember one of my first coaching gigs. When this whole Virginia Tech 4-4 defense was the rave, like in the mid-90s, and everybody was running that defense, and I was cursing the defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech because we couldn't figure out a way to beat it. So that defense chased a lot of people out of 2-back runs and things like that, because they put all of those guys right near the line of scrimmage, and it's basically the same defense now. The same tenets of that defense are in there now. So. Their scheme allows him to be really aggressive, run through, and he's a little fire plug in there. He just goes through, he runs through people, he jumps over people. So, we're going to have to find him in a run game, put a body on him, and it's going to be different schematically, against these guys than it's been the last few weeks.
A couple more.
It seems like you haven't caught a break in terms of the defenses you faced. Every week it's been pretty stout, really, through the back half of the season here. And I imagine that's kind of interesting for you to kind of gauge where your offense is versus really dynamic defenses, and seeing different things as you're also trying to develop a young quarterback. Kind of what do you make of all that?
Well, it's it is a great challenge, and it's it's fun. You go in on Sunday and Monday, and you kind of see exactly what you're facing, and you put the plan together. And my whole conversation with the offense has always been about us and doing the things that we do better. and adjusting the plays as they fit who we're playing. But if we block and throw and catch and run pretty well, we're going to be pretty good against everybody that we're playing. It's just a different challenge, a different set of plays, a different mentality, and the Tuesday practice is the intro to all of those things, and we iron some things out tomorrow and Thursday, and then you go play it. I mean, at this time of year, there's not a lot of secrets, right? It's about execution, having a couple wrinkles off of each thing that you're doing, but you're not really making wholesale changes. You're just trying to figure out what are the things that fit who they are, and then you embrace the challenge and you go get it.
Okay.
Is there an offensive line who's particularly made a lot of strides grade-wise or just eye test-wise over the course of the season? I mean, they've all come a long way, but is there a particular that stood out?
Up front?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that across the board, you could go to every one of our 5 or 6 guys that are in there and go back and watch who they were when we started this thing last spring, and watch them now, and they're not even the same guys. Their confidence, their communication, their understanding, their technique is totally different. I mean, those first few weeks of spring practice, we were in the mentality of running off the ball, trying to headbutt people, and cut people, and they still have that, come off the ball and triple and knock it down mentality. And now the concepts of zoning to people and using their hands and getting their heads out of blocks, running their feet, they're all a bunch of guys that have gotten better, and they've gotten better collectively. Not only are they individually better in their technique, but they understand how to play together. Their communication's better, how to pick up a twist. I mean, we passed off a twist in the game that was 3 guys passing off a twist with linebackers running and defensive guys running out that we never would have picked up even in camp. But you have an elite offensive line coach, and you have guys that are sponges and love to get better and love to compete, and they're really smart guys, and their work ethic is tremendous. And the thing that it has to be noted is they do a tremendous job of reviewing film, understanding the opponent, really diligently working on understanding who they're playing, how those guys play, what they're going to see. Brent does an unbelievable job teaching them that. But once you set that level, then they have to go do it. And their preparation is excellent. And so when you know mentally what to do, you certainly can do it physically much easier.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Chris.